Hey there, this is Amelia here. Welcome to Amelia's crossdressing story. Today we are going to share a story called Trip to Paris Part 39. By Teddy. For more interesting and exclusive stories, please subscribe to my channel and support me at Patreon. On Saturday evening, everyone was meeting at Ronnie and Jason's apartment. And, seeing it was January, everyone was dressing for the cold weather. Jamie was wearing the same outfit she had worn on her last outing in Brest, but had added a pair of silky opaque black tights. It looked so good with the short tight gray shirt and the low-cut black top. And, when she added the retro shoes that she had purchased in France, and Jamie was ready to go out on the town. Ronnie, seeing her, said, "Girlfriend, you look so good." "Thanks, lover. At least I'm going to look good and be warm." Once they were all at the apartment and all the greetings were over, they were off to dinner. It was to a small restaurant and a nice meal. And, like they had done with Amy and Linda, our couple filled Sarah and Vicky in on their time in France. The trip to Paris for Halloween, going out as two girlfriends, shopping, the trouble with Ariane, etc. Vicky told them that she had heard back from the psychologist that they had visited and knew a lot of what had gone on. Vicky did agree that the way they handle Ariane wasn't the best, but that it was over. And that it was good that they found out about Ronnie's strong bisexual tendencies. After dinner, Sarah and Vicky took everyone to a new club that had opened while our couple was in France. The club had a really diverse clientele, couples, singles, straight, gay, L, and so on. Finding a table for 6 took a little while, but they finally did. There was an all-girls band playing, they were really good, and the dance floor was crowded. Vicky leaned over to Ronnie and whispered, "I heard that one of the girls in the band isn't a girl." Ronnie looked very closely at the band and said, "I can't tell." "I know." The girls danced, drank, and just had a good time. Once, while Sarah and Ronnie were dancing, 4 guys walked up. And Jamie whispered to Vicky, "I'm surprised it took so long." One of the guys said, "Hi ladies. My name's Bill. Would you lovely ladies like some company?" "Not really," Jamie said. "Oh, come on. We've been watching the 6 of you all night, and you need some male companionship." "Love. We're fine. And we are just having a girls' night out." "But, honey, it won't be any fun afterwards." "Afterwards?" "Sure. You know, when you go home." Just then, Sarah and Ronnie walked up, and Sarah asked, "What's up?" "Oh. Bill here and his friends thought we'd like their company, and maybe to go home with them." "Oh really?" Ronnie said in a stunning way, with a nice smile. "Yeah," Bill said, "we thought that 6 lovely ladies like you might like some male company." "Billy," Jamie continued, "why don't you just come out and tell us what you want, and that's to pick us up and have sex with us?" "Aw. Billy. Sweetheart. Just ask." Bill looked at his friends a little nervously. It was the first time that he'd run into girls that were so forward. One of his friends, who looked to be the drunkest, said, "Go on, Bill, ask." The 6 girls were all looking at the guys and smiling. And Jamie said, "Billy. Cat got your tongue?" "Aw. No. Aw. Would you guys like to join us, and then go have sex with us?" "Billy boy. First, we're not guys. We're ladies. And, second, we're not interested in guys. Remember, I said that we were having a girls' night out?" "Yeah." Billy's drunk friend said, "Are they LS?" "Billy," Jamie said, "your friend, even though he's drunk, is very perceptive." Jamie started pointing at the girls. "Pointing at Vicky," she said, "L. Pointing at Sarah," she said, "L. Pointing at Amy," she said, "Bye. But really prefers girls." Pointing at Linda, she said, "L. Pointing at Ronnie, "We're not really sure about her, but she knows how to drive a girl crazy." Then pointing at herself, she said, "A full-blown, dyed-in-the-wool L. And I want nothing to do with guys, their egos, or what's between their legs." Bill looked for his friends, and they had already slunk away. And, as he backed away, he said, "Sorry, ladies." The 6 girls had a good laugh over it. And then Vicky said, "You surprise me, Jamie." "Why?" Jamie asked. "I never thought that I'd ever see you this way. You stood up for yourself and us, to those guys. A lot of girls would have just accepted their invitation, at least for a drink. I learned a lot about myself in France. You have to be who you are, and not let anyone push you around. Be who you are, and not worry about what others think." Ronnie added, "You should have seen her at the Halloween party when this guy hit on her. She showed him her fangs, and told him that he was the wrong sex for her, and that if he liked, she'd help him change his girlfriend." Linda said, "Are you the same girl that I met a few years ago?" Looking at Linda, and smiling, Jamie said, "No. I've found myself. I know who I am. Who I love. Who my friends are." "Has she ever?" Ronnie said. "She's even surprised me. I thought at one time that I had a stay-at-home girlfriend. But, was I ever wrong? She's become a very outgoing person. She loves to go out to dinner, to movies, for walks, and the shopping we won't even talk about." So, Vicky asked, "Is Jason going to start living full-time as Jamie?" Jamie looked at Ronnie, then said, "No. Like the doctor in France told us, I could easily do it. But, there are people who I really care about, that would never understand, and I don't want to hurt them. I think Ronnie could live with it, and so could I. But, as long as I get chances like tonight, and at home, I'm happy. And, what adds to it, is being able to share it with good friends." Ronnie took Jamie's face in her hands, looked at her, and then gave her a long kiss. Linda, who was sitting on the other side of Jamie after Ronnie broke the kiss, also gave Jamie a kiss. The kiss was nothing like Ronnie's. Just a friend kissing a friend. The other 3 girls just looked at Jamie, and Amy finally said, "Jamie, when I first met you in high school, I never knew such a pretty, nice, and friendly girl was inside you. I thought you were a typical boy. Little did I know that I had another girlfriend, whom my best friend would bring out to her full feminine beauty. Jamie, you are a wonderful friend." The others smiled more, and Amy picked up her glass, and said, "A toast to a very pretty girl, a fantastic woman, and an even better friend." The others joined in the toast. Jamie actually blushed, and started to cry. Ronnie looked at her, and said, "Love, you're going to ruin your makeup." "I can't help it," Jamie replied, "you guys are so wonderful. Remember. Like you told Bill and his friends, not guys, but girls," Sarah said. This brought a smile to everyone. Jamie carefully wiped the tears away, but Ronnie said, "All right, girlfriend, to the ladies' room. We need to fix your makeup." Ronnie and Jamie walked together to the ladies' room, and before Jamie redid her makeup, they exchanged a deep kiss. And then Ronnie said, "Lover, you are the greatest." "Baby," Jamie replied, "it's all thanks to you. You saw something, and helped nurture it. And, we've had some problems, but we've worked through them. You make me so happy." Jamie then spent a few minutes redoing her makeup, and then they rejoined the others. Just as they were walked out of the ladies' room, Ronnie grinned, and said, "You surprised me when you let Linda kiss you?" "Why?" "Well, she's really a guy." "No, she's not. In my eyes, she's more of a girl than I am." "Really?" "You know she is." "I know." "So, it was a girl kiss." "You know it." That night, as Ronnie and Jamie were laying in bed, Ronnie said, "I know I've asked you this before. But who are Jason and Jamie?" Jamie looked at her, and replied, "Both are someone who loves you more than life itself. Both are complicated. Both love who they are. And both want more happy years with you than exist in time. Why do you love me?" "Love, enough of the questions for tonight." Jamie kissed Ronnie, and the next few years were a very happy time for our couple, with the exception of Ronnie's remaining grandparents passing away within a year of each other. They found out that Jason wouldn't have to keep his promise about moving to France, as Ronnie's parents, when her dad retired, were moving back to the States. Jason did graduate from college and went to work for Briard, but in a different area than his father worked. The department that he worked for did secret research, and it required Jason to travel to France a few times a year. And, when he did, Ronnie usually went along, as did Jamie. There was just something about being Jamie when Ronnie wasn't around that just didn't feel right. So, if Ronnie couldn't go, Jamie didn't either. And, when Ronnie and Jamie had time on their visits to France, they always tried to visit the drag club in Paris. And Rose always welcomed them with open arms. She even got Jamie up on stage a couple of times to perform. And Jamie actually had a great time doing it. The six amigos were always going out on the town. Dinner, clubs, and movies. But the special times were when Ronnie and Jamie had their time alone. They would do the movie and dinner thing. But there were the walks through the park, the shopping as two girlfriends, and just being together at home. There was one small glitch in the relationship between Ronnie and Jamie, and her name was Mary Beth. Mary Beth was born almost exactly 10 years after Jason and Ronnie were married. Ronnie had difficulty becoming pregnant, and after Mary Beth was born, they found out that Ronnie wouldn't ever be able to become pregnant again. Mary Beth's full name was Mary Beth Renee Gischard Blackwell, a real mouthful for a little girl. But we know who she's named after. Mary Beth's arrival, at first, didn't put a crimp into Jamie being around. But, as she got older, it was hard for Jason to be Jamie around the house like he used to do. But there was no end to someone willing to babysit. Jason's mother was always ready to be with her granddaughter. And his sisters, yes, both Mary and Beth, were happy to sit with their namesake. And if they weren't going out with them, Mary Beth's godparents, Amy and Linda, were always willing. When Mary Beth was very young, Jason could become Jamie at home before going out, as Mary Beth went to bed early. This continued until one evening, when Mary Beth was about 6, and Jamie's mother was over to babysit while our couple went out. Jamie, Ronnie, and Jamie's mother were in the kitchen chatting when they heard a little voice say, "Mommy." "Who's the pretty lady?" Jamie looked at Ronnie with a look of panic. But Ronnie just smiled at Jamie and said to Mary Beth, "Honey, what are you doing up?" "I heard you talking with Nana." "Mommy, who's the pretty lady?" "That's Mommy's friend Jamie." "And you need to go back to bed, sweetheart." Mary Beth ran over to her mother, who picked her up. Then Mary Beth said, "Can you and the pretty lady tuck me in?" "Sure, honey." "But then you have to be good for Nana and stay in bed," Ronnie said. "I will, Mommy." Ronnie carried Mary Beth back to her bedroom, followed by Jamie. And, as Ronnie was tucking her in, Mary Beth said, "Good night, pretty lady." "Good night, Mary Beth." "Sweet dreams," Jamie said. Still looking at Jamie, Mary Beth asked, "Can I have a good night kiss?" Jamie looked at Ronnie, and Ronnie just smiled. Jamie then bent down and gave Mary Beth a little kiss. As Ronnie and Jamie were walking out of Mary Beth's room and closing the door, Ronnie said, "Sleep tight, baby." "Night, Mommy." "Night, pretty lady." As they walked back into the kitchen, Jamie said, "That really scared me." "Why?" Ronnie asked. "I thought for sure she'd figure out who I was." "Honey. She was very sleepy, and you do look like a pretty lady." Jamie. "Honey, her mother said she was fine with you. She was so sleepy that she probably won't even remember you in the morning." From then on, Jason changed at either Amy and Linda's or at Sarah and Mark's, Vicky. Or, if Mary Beth was having a sleepover at her Nana's, she would still change at home. Jason and Ronnie did talk about telling Mary Beth about her dad, but had decided to wait until she was older and could understand it, if they did tell her at all. One of the interesting things that happened was with Jason's sister Beth. Beth became very accepting of Jamie and actually looked forward to seeing her. She treated Jamie as a girlfriend and went out with them a few times when she wasn't watching Mary Beth. And then there was always a special present on Jason's birthday. Jason's sisters, Mary and Beth, did find the loves of their lives and both married. But they still had time to spend with Ronnie, Jamie, and Mary Beth. And Mary Beth did end up with cousins to play with. That's all for now. See you in the next video. For more interesting stories, please subscribe to our channel, and for exclusive content, please join us on Patreon. Link in the comment.